Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Crush Your Stone. Tonight we have with us Mr. Henderson and Antonio. Now, if you guys don't mind me asking, what are you guys' career? Start with Mr. Henderson first.
Well, again, my name is Ray Henderson. The name of our business is H&H Fast Property. I'm a property investor. I invest in residential and commercial real estate.
My name is Antonio Reynolds. I'm currently employed at the City of Chicago Street and Sanitation. I'm a ward superintendent. So I just monitor the wards.
And how did you hear about Crushers Club?
Through my partner, Mr. Ray Henderson. We both was already going over the idea of reaching out to young men, trying to get them to mentor them. And so we came across you guys. So we wanted to come out and see what you guys' club was about. And we was impressed. We seen some other black men and women taking control and really putting the work in with you guys. We seen that. So that's how we heard about y'all. So we was just anxious to work with you. Yeah.
What's something that pushed you to get to your career now?
I was already doing the work. What I'm about to say is important. You guys can be the most talented person at home on the couch. Nobody knows you. See, I was out already putting the work in, and they seen me, right? And lo and behold, a 6-figure job came out of it. But nobody would have known me if I was at home on the couch, wishing, hoping. I was already out doing. So they seen my work ethic. You see, that's actually how it came about. I no magic wand. Just putting some work in.
Okay. And how does your work make you feel?
Oh, like I'm empowering. Like I can change. I already created a reputation already in City Hall at the district I'm at that they feel like we done changed the ward almost single-handedly. They think I've changed the ward single-handedly, but it wasn't me. It was also the other folks behind the garbage trucks, the street sweeper, my boss, everybody giving me the resources, helping me. I was just proactive. I was involved. I'm taking it. So my motto was, if I want to do something, I want to do it at a level. It's hard for somebody to come behind me and replicate. So I'm putting my 110 in. So it took me, doing some of this stuff myself, making the change that I wanted to see in my community. I had to create that utopia. I didn't wait for nobody to come in and do it. We did it. That's how.
And Mr. Henderson, for anybody that wants to achieve anything in their life, what's some advice you would give them?
Let me use myself as an example. As a young man, I looked at positive role models. Not just somebody talking, but I seen the examples they set. I looked at my dad, for example, and I seen how he didn't have a dad in his life. And God rest his soul, but I seen the example he set. He was a positive role model. So I'm like a third-generation entrepreneur. My grandfather, my father, myself, and now I'm passing the business down to my son and daughters. But there's no replacement for hard work. If you have a dream, it's all right to have a dream. But do the hard work. Do the hard work. Do the hard work, and if you enjoy what you enjoy doing, I don't care if it's selling socks on the corner, if you're willing to do the hard work, you're going to make it happen. Yeah. So do the behind-the-scene hard work, the work that is done when nobody's watching. And that is what I applied to my own life. It wasn't easy, it was hard work, but in the end, it's so fulfilling, and it eventually paid off. Yeah.
And you just said you was an entrepreneur. How many businesses do you own?
I got 3 or 4 that I can say I'm proud of. I can say 3 or 4 I can say I'm proud of. Yeah.
Do you mind saying their names?
The name of the business?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have one, H&H Fast Property. Then we have another one called Big Boy Toys, where we specialize in old school cars. The third one we have is the I Am Center. That's our non-for-profit that works in conjunction with our Henderson Family Trust, which is a foundation which believes in giving back. And that's the one I'm most proud of. And that is the one that we're looking to work with this Crushers Club, to create something for other young men and some women who just need a little guidance. So one day they can become entrepreneurs. Yeah.
What's your plans with Crusher Club, like in the future?
So one of the things that we have, we mentioned H&H Fast Properties, which we do real estate. So we're looking to, for like a joint venture, creating a pilot program with my friend Antonio here, in which we can get a small group of entrepreneur young men who are interested in the construction business, and actually while having to work on a live construction project with the things you've been working on inside of your facility. You can try it actually out in the field, yeah, with real craftsmen, yeah.
And how long have you been guiding young men?
Man, I bought my first house over 40 years ago. It seems like I've been guiding, working with young men all my life. It seems like my whole entire life. But we're really getting aggressive in the last probably 25, 30 years to work with young men.
Do you feel like you've made a difference?
When I see young men coming back and making a difference in our community, nothing else brings joy to my heart, because it changes the stigma that they put on our young black youth, because I know it's a genius inside of all of them. They just need the opportunity to express themselves. And in the end, my goal is to find other entrepreneurs who look like us, who will be willing to get back so we can create some success stories. And pray to God Almighty to catch on fire across the country while everybody's watching, of what happens when they see young men see people really care about them with no hidden agenda.
With all these businesses you have to maintain, do you have any time for family life or anything in general?
In reference to my family life, it's a big sacrifice. That's why I'm telling you now, I'm like semi-retired, where I can focus more on working in the community, and then at the same time continue to work with my own family. You know, I've got sons, daughters, and grandsons and granddaughters, and I'm gonna put some of that energy into them. Like when we went on the event last week, you see I had my grandsons there. Both my grandsons are right there. And the only job they really had has been working with me. Yeah, just like my son. It's the only job he ever had, really ever needed, was working with me. So we're creating a foundation that they can build upon. And, you know, we really believe that it's gonna, we put our best foot forward, and we believe with that, and people can see something, they know they can achieve it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Since you're semi-retired, do you have any like plans once you get completely retired, like for the future?
Yeah. Continue to look for other organizations that need some of the technical skills we need, so that they can interact in the financial world for real. It's over $1 trillion that black people are spending all across the United States. So we just need to get them just to refocus and create some real revenue circulating in our community.
Mm-hmm. Man, if I can piggyback off that question you had, I thought that was a great question about your family life. Since you guys are asking some real adult questions, we got to give you the real, what you gonna encounter. Like when I first was started, even with the city, it consumed so much of my time, and I even have to admit that's what broke up my family. So we was separated for 5 years, even though my children still seen me every day, because I still needed to be in my son's daughter lives. Still had a home I had to take care of, maintain, even though I wasn't there. But it was to show my my son and my daughter that, hey, no matter what you going through in your personal life, you still got a responsibility. That's your family. Regardless of what you don't see eye to eye with your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, you create a child, you got a family, it's your responsibility, and you don't have no excuses when it come to me. Me and you will have a problem if I find out you're not taking care. So I had to show that, couldn't talk about it, had to be about it. So I'm saying that to say this: y'all might, when you get the expanding out in life and in your businesses, you might come across that where it's eating at a lot of your family time, but also the woman you partner with or whatever the case may be, they have to understand if you want to reach above average heights, it takes above average effort. And it does. You're going to have to learn to try to balance that work and family life. You know, I made that mistake. So that's why I'm telling you, you see what I'm saying, to be aware of that. So.
What's some difficulties that you face every day with having a family? Like, is there any difficulties that you face while having a family? Or was there any that you faced?
Yeah, I would say, and me, I really take it serious as being the provider and protector. So they mama call, it's always what's wrong because you don't call. And so, you know, I'm thinking always there's something wrong. So, and making sure my children are safe or when they out in the street or whatever. So that's always constantly creating that safe environment. But what I have to do is give them the knowledge what to be aware of, what to do. How you defend yourself, protect yourself. You see something ain't looking right, you need to start making your way to the door. So I have to learn too. I can't be a helicopter dad either. No. I gave you the knowledge, and see, I always say this, technique doesn't fail. You just fail technique. You fail to execute technique. If I told you something that we already know how this is gonna work out, but you fail to execute. So that's part of the difficulties because we all know the violence, the crime that goes on. So that's constantly always on your mind.
Excuse me, Mr. H. What were your difficulties as starting a business that you faced?
I think when I first started my very first business, lack of information. Back in the 80s, I opened a gas station. I went from being a mechanic to I had an opportunity where I could purchase a operational gas station. So when I first opened a gas station, I spent all this money buying equipment, doing renovations, and when it got time to open the gas station, I have money to put gas in the ground. Now, imagine, I got a gas station with no gas. So by me not having the knowledge of how to properly manage my business, here I'm opening a gas station with no gas, so I'm the laughing stock in town. But once I got that out the way, then the other problem I had, the tanks were too small, so every day before lunchtime, even though I was making plenty of money, I ran out of gas for lunchtime. And that's not a bad problem to have. Back in the 80s, making $2,500 before lunchtime. But I just didn't understand financial literacy or fiduciary responsibility. Another time, my business grew in the 90s. I had a car dealership. And I didn't understand the tax structure, even though I made tons and tons of money, documented, done in Bradstreet. By the time tax time come, even though I was making all kind of crazy money, man, I owed hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. People robbed me blind because I had a cash business, so I got poor people count my money. So those just basic mistakes I made because I didn't have anybody to teach me. Trial and error. Experience was the best teacher. So those are some of the horrors I had in business of management. And those are some of the things we want to pass on to young folks on how to properly manage your business, set your business up the right way with attorneys, right type of accountants. Should it be an LLC? Should it be a sole proprietor? You know, do it need to be a joint venture? How to correctly set up the firewalls to protect yourself so if you have some kind of business, somebody get hurt, they don't come take your home. So just having the right information up front, just for all these years I've been in business, can create landmines. So you're not working, yourself to death, and then somebody walk up and say they slipped on a banana and everything you worked for, they took it from you. So by having that experience, it'll have our people not afraid to get in business because they think about, what if I lost? What about if I win? What if I gain? So we want to, while the young folks have nothing but creativity, point them in the right direction so they're not digging a hole for themselves, so they're not afraid to invest wisely. And then in the end, you can control your future by just making good investments. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you say anybody guided you to for you to be able to succeed now?
So, throughout my life, I will say that I did run across some mentors who were able to guide me, not just in my business life, but just like Antonio spoke upon with my family life. And I was able to look at the life they led and how they interacted with their wives or their children, so I could see the positivity in that. And so I did have some pretty good mentors that really helped propel me to another level. Saved me a lot of pain and grief.
Is there any role models that any of you two look up now?
Pardon me?
Is there any role models that you two look up to now?
Well, for me, absolutely. This man said it to my left. You might not know it, but I in conversation, I always refer to him as the mentor. I don't even say his name, but I always refer to him as the mentor because I done been there and made. I know the work that it takes and made the pitfalls. So to have someone on the side, see, I see the value in having that, a mentor. That's what also you guys gonna have to see in the value in having a mentor when it comes to your personal life, your business life, having somebody that can help and guide you as a young man. I'm not talking about somebody having a conversation with you talking about some ridiculousness. You understand? I'm talking about that can really give you the knowledge you need to move forward in life with certain things, taking on a wife, taking on responsibility of a business, taking on responsibility of being a dad, having someone on your side that absolutely, and the men in my life, my dad, even though my dad himself went through it, he was hard, come home, addicted to drugs and alcohol, and when I say come home, I'm talking about being 19, coming home from the Vietnam War, where he went, he was 19. So he go on prom with my mama, you understand? But the next week after that, he in the middle of a jungle, fighting for his life. So, but seeing my daddy get up and go to work, rain, sleet, or snow, man, at his retirement party, I say, man, my dad a special man. This dude survived 2 wars, Vietnam Desert Storm, and a marriage. Man, that's one tough dude. So yeah, having the men, we can't say that enough. What about you, Mr. Anderson?
That's a hard act to follow. I'm gonna let somebody else get to back.
Oh wow! Well, you say me if you like.
Yeah. And getting off, the serious topic. What's one of y'all favorite football teams?
Oh man, I guess the winner, the last Super Bowl champ. Yeah, man. I'm gonna say it. I don't have a favorite, but I like to see those quarterbacks, man. It's just something about, to me, when the hole is collapsing, man, them dudes stay poised, man. They stay in that pocket, and they looking. The objective is getting that ball down, and they looking to get that ball out downfield. So I like to see the technique more so in what they doing in their craft. And they'll take off when needed. They know that's what you got to learn in life. You got to know when it's time to cut it. So we have to say you're going to have to know when it's time to cut off certain people you might call your friends. You understand? Your spouse, or even your children, maybe. You got to learn when to cut it off. I used to go through it when my children were little. And so we had a lot of dogs. And sometimes you had to put a dog down. But I said, I'm going to use this as a learning lesson for them. I had in my mind when I was going to go take the dog, put it down, but I would let them decide because I wanted them to be able to make these hard decisions, right? When to be able to cut it off. So, but yeah, I don't have a favorite football team, man. I'm sorry.
Would you say having a small circle is better for you, or having a lot of connections is great?
Oh man, a lot of connections. I would say, well, that would be different. I mean, like if you're saying circle, like as far as us doing business, having a circle of my family and friends or something, I don't mind that. But it's nothing wrong with us having these connections and connections worldwide. Like I told y'all, this planet is your playground. See, you need those connections. Nothing wrong with it.
would you say connections can benefit you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
How have connections benefited you yourself?
Oh man, just even being around, being involved though, doing things, those connections, like I say, helped me as far as career wise. Even the connections that built off that even helped me with doing business in the real estate with Mr. Henderson. So it benefited me a tremendous, and hopefully they would benefit my children.
What about you, Mr. Henderson?
I think just to piggyback a little bit about what my dear friend Antonio said, I'll give you an example. I don't know if you ever heard of the 7 degrees of separation.
No, you haven't. Can you explain it?
Well, they said you can reach anybody on this planet within 7 people. So it just shows you the benefit of just having different type of relationships. Even the building what we use now is our headquarters. At one time, it was it's a 20,000 square foot facility. Was a regional headquarters for the 7-Day Adventists. And my dream was to take, and instead of having offices all over the suburbs and the city, I want to put everything in one central location where people would not be afraid to come through. Well, you got to remember that something as large as 7-Day Adventists, they all over the whole planet. Why would they want to deal with me? But somebody was in my network. The guy was the northern president of the Illinois Board of Realtors. He had 800 European brokers in his network. Some of them might have listings, maybe $20 or $30 million, sale price. He made one phone call, and because of the relationship he had with them, was able to get the building under contract and eventually to purchase it. That is just a thing of having a good network. So since I had a good relationship with the person who introduced me to the president of the board, he opened the door. They saw we had a good background in real estate. We were able to close on this property when nobody was funding nowhere in the Chicagoland area because of all of the chaos and mayhem that was going on. But I told him we needed a facility such as so when people come and see it, they know we mean business. And my whole goal, and I told him, was that when people would come to this facility and see what our facility looked like, they knew we mean business. Because I'm going to leave my family something, my heirs. So I'm so proud to have my daughters and my son work with me. My oldest son, I think I told you guys before, he was murdered. Yeah, so those 2 grandsons you see in the bowl line, those are my grandsons, so I'm raising them. And one of them wears as a memento on his neck his father, who was in line to become an attorney. His sister's a doctor. She works in the family business. She got a real PhD. And my son was going to be a lawyer. And those are the type of things you need so that they can see through the connections and the relationships. So now they can do business with the people I've done business with and take it to the next level. So when we say, hey, we're doing business and we're doing new construction, they know it's not talk. They can look right on the website and see it. And all of this is through the relationships that we've made through banking, through dealing with political, just dealing business with all kind of religious leaders. So those are some of the benefits of having relationships. So yeah, I think it's been a benefit in having relationships. Just like we have a relationship with you guys now. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Would you say real estate, would you say it's made you a lot of income?
Imagine your dream life. I'm living my dream life for 30 years. And I say, it's been hard work now, but I didn't have to bounce no basketball. I had to stand on no stage. Nobody crack jokes and laugh at me like I'm a clown. And I'm not making light of nobody who do that. But I'm saying I looked at the most successful people in the world, and they invested in real estate. And we got a ton of it available in our community. So I wouldn't say it was a bad investment.
That's right.
With the time we have left, I would like to say that Personal Crushers Club check-in, Kenneth finally went out of town for his amateur fight. It was really great. It was exciting. We had a lot of funding for it. And recently, we have been renovating the kitchen. It's actually coming out very great. And we have been renovating the studio room. We'll have some pictures next time we're here.
Yeah.
And as y'all can see, I do have my brother on the show today. This is my blood brother. How do you feel?
About interviewing?
Mm-hmm.
It was an interesting, nice experience.
And how do you guys feel?
Oh, it's been great, man, to connect with you young guys and let you know. And somebody out there, they care. They want to reach for you. So this is, it's all, man, a great experience when you can reach other people. You know?
And you know, with that, guys, Crushers Club is finally out.
Thank y'all, man.
All right.